guys, it's Angel and welcome back to the channel. We're here at Princess Juliana International in St. Martin. It's one of a cluster of islands with amazing airports down here in the Caribbean, including of course Saba and St. Bart's, only a small stone throw away. Now in FSX this was one of the prime airports, one of the prettiest airports and islands because it was the demo island. St. Martin and Grand Case was the demo. So this island was much better scenery than everything else in the sim. So imagine my disappointment when I first got FS 2020 and Princess Juliana and Grand Case was generic. Of all the airports they could have done the, should we say, handcrafted touch to, this wasn't one of them. And you'd think it would be, considering it's the iconic FSX airport, or one of them. But we're here down at Princess Juliana at the GA parking area, and we're about to get ourselves moving because I want to give you a flying tour of the airport, which will be a little bit faster than using slew camera because it's kind of slow. But we'll be taking a quick look around here, the island, and of course heading over to Grand Case, which is more of the GA and business airport on the island. So we are good to start here, I believe. I'm probably missing one or two things because something always likes to be different. There we go. Thought I had right fuel tank selected. Turns out it was no fuel tank selected. There we go. Set to the right both. Lights are on. Avionics and alternator on. So let's get rid of our parking brake and it's time for takeoff. Now we're down here at the far end of the airport, right at the GA parking area, so we'll get ourselves moving and we'll take a little flying tour of... Oh, hello. Now the installer for this is about a gigabyte, and I've noticed it's pretty heavy compared to all the Orbex airports. Performance a little worse here for some reason, not sure. Now I have a high-end machine that meets and exceeds Microsoft's, should we say, ideal specifications for the airport, for the sim I should say. So when I say this one's a bit of a harder hitter, that should say something. But either way, as apparently that loading vehicle takes off on the runway, we'll enter. I'm going to bother with any call-outs there, we're just doing a flying tour. And we'll get ourselves moving. Hopefully take off before that tug takes off. Which would be nice, of course. See, we're catching him. I wonder when he's going to pull back and rotate. Whoop, there we go. So gear up, and you will see that the area around the airport is nicely enhanced. Wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's not bad. All the airport terminal buildings that you saw there at the start of the video. Everything looks very, very nice. Including, of course, all the people down on the end of the runway. Those people that like to get blown away by jet exhaust and watch planes land. Can we actually get low enough to see them? Slew the aircraft over so we don't lose too much altitude. There we are, all the people. The hotel on the headland. Beautiful, beautiful look at that. Now this is exactly what I wanted the place to be. This is what I really expected it to be. Now, this one is available, of course, on... there's a link in the description to where it's available, and I should have really told you who exactly made it, but I didn't. It's actually by... Let's go and look for this now. Being very, very special, of course. Let's keep the plane straight and level. This one, of course, Airworthy Designs produced this, and it's available from Sim Market, which is a great location to get that from. A European store. It's about 20 euros, so not a bad price, but it is, of course, only €1. Now, tabbed out slightly there while I was looking for the maker because I'm sick, and this came out, and I had to make a video for it, and I had to make a video for you guys, but I'm sick. Don't worry, it's not that thing. I'm pretty positive. But I will say, overall, the whole island is dramatically improved. Texturing and the actual scenery, including what they used for the terrain generation and the photo scenery, I should say, for the area, is dramatically improved over what it was by default. It looked messy, it looked crappy, it looked kind of unimportant. But now everything just looks a little bit more like it should. Of course, considerably better than FSX did, but that's not exactly a large margin to go by. So Grand Cay should be up here around the headland, so it's not too far away for us. The next one up from here, we should see the icon there appearing on the MFD. There. So just around this headland, above one of our lights on the glare shield. And you'll see down there, the island looks decent. Is it perfect? No. It feels like they give it a little bit less attention overall in terms of Microsoft than they did in previous Sims, which is disappointing, but the airport qualities are definitely improved and significantly better. So, just knock our pitch down there. Should be approaching Grand Case in a second. Not very far away in this case, but it's close enough for us to take a good look at. But you know what, we'll fly in good old third person to take a proper... Oh god, don't touch that button on my yoke. Really quite a pretty overall appearance of the island now. Much more autogen, much more actual trees and buildings. Everything seems like it was a bit more carefully placed now. Higher res terrain detail, which is important, and higher res imagery. So I'd say a nice rendition of things. And Grand Case is one I've flown out a few times because I'm going to places like St. Bart's and Saba. Now, with default airports, they're okay, but considering what we've been spoiled with in this sim, they definitely let you down a little bit. Considering how important this island was to FSX, I was surprised. So this is Grand Case down here, just below us there, and I can already tell from here it looks much better. Now, will this be as heavy a hitter as Princess Juliana was? That's another matter entirely. But we'll fly over the airport and we'll come around and make our landing. I will say, compared to the previous default version, this is a lot nicer overall. Now, I could be imagining it, I could be filling in the blanks, if you will, and saying the rest of the island looks nicer. I'm not positive that they upgraded that, but the airports are 110% better. So, let's go back inside the cockpit, shall we? And we'll turn around and make our approach here. It'll be a little bit more sketchy than perhaps might be normal, but hey, we're just doing a flying tour. We're not taking things too seriously. We'll mostly take a look around. That's the whole important part. That little marina down there is gorgeous. See, now I could actually feel myself taking a flight around this area and enjoying the scenery, rather than worrying about, oh, this looks like a default airport, which were just the standard buildings you find at most places. So, airport's behind us there. Like a banking downwind to final. Easy does it. Now, I will say I'm using my Alpha yoke by Honeycomb Aeronautics. Everything just feels 10 times smoother than it previously has. I absolutely love it. Especially with the new position I've mounted it in below my desk, which definitely does the job. Now we're coming in a bit high and steep, but approach to the airport looks good. Keeping our bank going as we're going to rotate through to final. Drop gear and should come out of the bank onto short final. Precisely done. Now this part doesn't look as phenomenal, but it is a small island, of course, let's not forget, and not exactly... Well, it's pretty wealthy, there are definitely parts that are less so, so it looks like a Caribbean island for certain. Okay, short final here. We're rolling it down to the strip. I must say the sensitivity of the Alpha yoke is dramatically better than previous ones I've used, like Cytex, and of course the X52s and things. Much better. Airport approach looks pretty much like previous right now, but we'll soon see once we clear those trees. There we go. Gently ease her down onto the runway. Oh, there we go. Still need to get rid of my Cytec pedals. They are aged. Very aged. And the sensitivity curves on them are not phenomenal. Okay. Turn it off here and we'll get to see our first sights of Grand Case Airport on the ground. Tower and everything else looks improved there. We've got vehicles parked up. Small terminal. Everything looks gorgeous. We'll take a bit of a fly around on the old camera mode in a second. Unfortunately, unplugged my controller because it hates switching back and forth between the two. But we'll park up, and it'll excuse a bit of a keyboard tour when it comes to the wonderful drone cam. No, I didn't say go back. So we, of course, have a helicopter hangar located over here. Oh, this is significantly better. Much, much nicer. Everything just looks a little bit more polished, a little bit more finished, like it should be. This place, no performance impact. Princess Juliana, I'm not sure whether it's the amount of items that have been placed in the sim and volume of items dictates performance at an airport. So internationals tend to have a bit more hit, but it does seem easier. There we go. Oh, look, a fire truck. St. Martin Grand Case. They even have the right fire trucks for Grand Case. Although I'm pretty sure 3 ARF trucks, airport fire rescue trucks, is excessive for a tiny airport like this, but you never know. I mean, they do take biz jets into here, so not impossible, but 3 does seem like a lot. You'd think 1 or 2 max, really. So yeah, this is St. Martin and Grand Case. Overall review, is it worth it for €20? Yes, it's 2 airports for the price of 1, so you're talking €10 a piece, including Princess Juliana. And with the vicinity from St. Bart's and Saba to here and a bunch of other islands here in the Caribbean, if you want to GA hop between islands, it's phenomenal. If you want it as a destination for your airline flights, phenomenal. So, totally recommend it. Link to the page where you can buy it is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope you were okay tolerating my sick self today. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.